Welcome to lesson 2 in the place lesson series. In this lesson we are going to be adding on the stay to the place command. So the first thing to do is to get your dog onto the dog bed, just like we did in the previous lesson. Place, good. And I'm going to feed, stay. Now I'm going to say stay. Watch what happens when I take a step back. So the dog comes off, so he doesn't know what stay means at this point. So I have to teach it to him. So we're going to say place, we're going to get your dog onto that bed, good. You're going to say stay, and now you're going to just hold for a couple seconds and then feed again. Good. So we are going to start off making it really easy for the dog. Stay, and now we are going to wait a little bit longer than we did previously. Good. Okay. You may find that your dog tends to jump toward the food when you go to reach down. So if I come down and the dog jumps for it, no, I just pull it back. Good. Okay, and release. Okay, so we are going to start off making it really nice and easy for the dog. Place. Good. Stay. So what we are doing now is we are working on what we would call duration of the stay, meaning increasing the length of time the dog can stay on the dog bed for, and we increase the amount of time in between the food rewards. Good. Okay. All right. Always use your release cue. Place. So that's duration. Good. Stay. Now we are going to start to add in some distance. Now when I start to back away, this dog is going to step off. And so when he steps off, I'm going to mark that mistake with or no. It doesn't really matter what you use, but you want to have a difference in your tone inflection from good. Right? That's the reward marker that lets the dog know they are doing something correct. So watch this. Stay. When I take a step back, stay. Okay. So a couple things that I did there. I said, I used the leash as well as my body language to put the dog back onto the dog bed. And then I repeat, stay. Once the dog is staying, we are going to feed, stay. This time the dog was successful, so I'm going to come back to him and feed. Good. Stay. So this aspect of the stay is distance. So we are working on increasing the distance away from the dog. You will always return to the dog at this stage and feed. Good. And release. Okay. All right. So again, place. Good. Stay. Increase distance. No. If the dog makes a mistake, we mark that mistake and we get the dog back onto the bed. Now notice that when the dog broke and he came off the bed, I didn't say, nope, place. I don't recue the place command. I say, no, take the dog back and repeat stay. I also do not feed right after that mistake. So those are really important things that you need to remember. Stay. Come back and feed. Good. Stay. If he steps off, I say no. At the same time, I use that leash to get the dog back on. Stay. And now I'm working on increasing not only distance, but duration. So I'm walking away, and now I'm staying away from the dog for longer periods of time. Come back. Good. And feed. Okay. And release. So those are duration and distance. The next aspect of the stay is practicing increasing what we call distraction. Okay, so we're always going to practice having the dog stay for in scenarios that the dog finds very distracting, such as maybe someone knocking on the door. And this is one reason why I'm practicing with this Frenchie, and this is the reason why he is currently here at my school, is because when someone comes over to the client's house, this Frenchie just bolts toward the door, barking, jumping on people, so I'm going to work on teaching them how to stay calmly on the bed when they have a guest arrive at their home. So again, place, good. Stay, work on increasing the length of time, increasing the distance away from your dog. Now, every dog is going to be a little bit different in how they go through this command. All right, so you may find that your dog is coming off often. Well, then you may need to feed the dog more often as well. Okay, so if this dog has a tendency to keep breaking, then I may be feeding more often in the initial stages and then slowly increasing the time in between those food rewards. All right, remember, this is your first lesson on it, so your dog isn't going to be perfect when you first start to practice this. But as your dog gets better, I want you to work on increasing the length of time. So it may be helpful to have, instead of stopwatch on your phone, and work on feeding every 5 seconds, then every 10 seconds, and then every 20 seconds, and then every 30 seconds, maybe work up to, say, maybe a minute at this point. And then I want you to work on increasing your distance. Stay. If you can practice 2 feet, great. Go back to the dog and feed. Good. Stay. Then see if you can practice 4 feet, then 6 feet, and then 10 feet, and so on and so on. Always returning to the dog, feeding, and then releasing. All right, so I am not releasing the dog off of the bed and then feeding. All the good stuff happens on the bed. All right, and that's really important. So I do not want to go, okay, and then feed the dog here. All right, because then the dog is going to be waiting to be released off the bed because that's the best part for the dog. So all the food rewards happen here. Another thing that you will notice that I'm not doing at this point is praising the dog a whole lot. Okay? The reason why I'm not praising the dog and getting really excited with the dog is because I'm working on stay exercises and I want to keep the dog calm. All right? If I'm praising the dog and getting him really excited, it's going to be difficult for him to maintain that stay, and I want to really set him up for success in this early point in the training stage. So place, get the dog onto the bed, good. Stay, practice increasing the length of time. You can lengthen the distance away from your dog. Sorry about that. And then increasing the length of time that your dog can stay on the bed, whether it be you're beside them or 6, 8, 10 feet away from them. Always returning back to the dog and feeding, and then using your release cue. Okay. All right, guys, that's it for this lesson. I will see you in the next one. Good boy. Yes.